45 million, so hopefully around 50, 55 or 450.
Woo!
All right. So I'm going to just ask a basic question. And that is, how do you do that? How do you come out of college? Do you share this?
Well, Tony doesn't shave. Yeah. He's hoping to next year. We got him a razors and practicing. Yeah, I mean, you're a kid. Come on, you're a baby. You're how old?
26.
That's awesome. So how do you do that? Because you got a lot of people here who could be your parents, some maybe. But you got a lot of people here a lot older than you, young man, and they're struggling. They're asking this question, how do I do that? Is ignorance bliss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know you enough to know that you're a very smart young man, but yeah, ignorance is bliss. You didn't have any preconceived notions, did you? You just came out and you read this thing and you went, what?
Well, I drew my 13-year plan, and then I got a coach and realized it was going to only take a lot less time than that.
You got a coach?
Yeah.
A maps coach.
Well, yeah. A maps coach.
A maps coach. Woohoo!
So yeah, I was doing
That's
bowling.
highly unusual. Everyone who attends Mega Camp, you understand that they're not, 90% of them are not maps coach, they're not in coaching, and that doesn't even occur to them.
Well, I mean, I started experiencing results pretty quickly once I was doing bowl, and so I realized that I had started listening to what they were saying, so I just kept listening to what they were saying, and so I was at Mega Camp, and I think it was Dave Norberg caught me out there and signed me up, and I didn't even have enough money to pay for a whole year of maps coaching, so but I did it anyway, and
when I hired my first coach, I didn't.
Took off, yeah.
Well, I didn't have the money. Honestly, it was trouble.
And maps coaching is a deal compared to your first coach.
Well, so you had mentioned that Keller wasn't a marketing budget or anything until probably like a month ago. We haven't spent any money on marketing, but we have spent a lot of money on coaching. And so right now we've got 3 maps coaches, and so I mean we spent a ton of money there. What people kind of drop their jaw like you're blowing your money, wasting money, but it's kind of our lead generation budget in a way. I mean, it's
$60 million in what year are you in your career? 60 million is approximately $2 million, isn't it?
not quite, but
Wow.
It's a nice lifestyle.
Yeah.
At 24. Or 26.
He lives 34. Yeah, it is. So what do you think the tricks are? If you were sitting there advising someone today, Tim, and you were saying, okay, look, you know, I have no agenda here. You asked me, what does it take to at this point get to this level?
So I've been thinking about that a lot because the answer is always lead generate, you know, set appointments, call, whatever. But teaching the class at the Market Center, one of the Ignite classes, say that over and over and over again. So I started thinking, well, what really is kind of the secret that nobody else gets? And I think that what it is, it's obviously just doing it, right? But what I really think it is that I look back at my numbers and I saw that almost 70% of the appointments that we set come from follow-up. And so what that says is, I mean, if you're working your tail off and you're only setting 30% of the appointments that, only 30% are coming from the work that you're doing when you lead generate every morning. And so my results that I'm experiencing now and even last year, I know are coming from a lot of the work that I did my first year, my second year, when I did 20 deals my first year and 60 deals my second year. But I was working just as hard as I'm working now. Or I was working just as smart as, I was doing all the right things. I was making calls for 4 hours a day. I was doing all those things, but I wasn't doing the deals that I'm doing now.
And the trick was staying with it.
Staying with it. And now
it's called the geometric progression. Right. That line either goes like that or it goes like that.
Yeah, so
when you find the right things in the first year or two, you may not know that it's going to do that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and those ratios are dead on. 60 to 70% of your business will come from your lead follow-up.
Yeah, so I would say the best thing that we do as a team, and it came from what I did as an individual agent, is rigorous lead generation, but just relentless follow-up, just over and over and over again. And we didn't even... But we didn't even, and this is a dumb thing, this isn't like, obviously I do really well, we prospect really well, it's the one thing we do well. There's a bunch of gaps that we're working on right now. One of them is marketing. We were prospecting base and prospecting enhance and no marketing because I haven't even done a drip campaign until like 2 weeks ago. And so literally, you know, people would ask like, well, you know, what do you do from the time you talk to them first until you talk to them next? I'm like, well, we send them a personal note with a business card and then we call them a little bit before they told us to call them. And but never not call them. I mean, every single day when we come in, you do your 3 hours of lead generation, and then, or 4 hours, and then you've got a little bit extra time to make sure you get through all your follow-up calls that you told yourself to do that day. And that never, ever, ever got dropped. So a lot of other things in my business fell behind, a lot of other things lacked, and it kicked me in the butt later, but that's the one thing that never...
Yeah, you know, you think about it again, the whole point of the one thing was to point out the biggest professional lives possible. Their days are divided into basically 2 halves, right? One half is, for real estate sales to be specific, one half is lead gen, and the other half is dealing with all of the opportunity that comes from doing that, right? Listing and selling. That's it, right?
It's actually, we coached together for what, 120 days, something like that, just to get through that hump. And he's going, oh my gosh, I don't have any time. I do my lead follow-up and I go on 4 or 5 listing appointments a day. My team is crumbling around me. He had the chaos. You know what he did? He didn't stop the lead gen through the chaos.
Oh, you never, that's exactly
right. You never stop through the chaos.
Yeah, you never stop.
I hadn't read the book yet. Tony pointed me to that chapter towards the end of the book, Fear of Chaos. That told me, it's all good, I'm doing the right thing, because everybody else around me, including, you know, people in my office or on my team, or even, you know, a lot of people, everyone's been like incredibly supportive, but a lot of times I feel like all this chaos I'm creating, I'm ready to just stop what I'm doing and just go deal with it, but I never did, and I kind of felt bad about it until I read that, and then I was like, you know what?
Yeah, don't do that.
That's 17, right? It's got to
never take the
chaos.
Never. Your whole life, you never will. The trick, though, is the second that you can afford it, you turn to someone else and say, you're the chaos manager.
That's exactly what he did. Right?
That's how you build a big business. I mean, this is called mega camp. That's how you do that. If you take your foot off and start doing chaos, call that mini camp. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot less than your potential is. Right? What you discover is with leverage, what's the potential?
So, Tim, how did you keep that mindset when, you know, like all that stuff was happening around you? Because I know we talked about that. Let's just keep doing what you've been doing.
Coaches and a mentor that, you know, I mean, honestly, I last year at Mega Camp, my one buyer agent who did all of our buyer deals called and said he was leaving to start his own business, and my EA went and joined him, and they started their own thing, and, you know, it was like, didn't really know what to do, but
having coaches and mentors, people surrounding you, keeping focused on the right way, that's the only way out. Things happen. Right? For the wrong reason, they just happen. You can't insulate yourself from those things happening in life. You walk in the front door, those things happen. And when you build a business, particularly again, there are cycles where you learn. And you'll learn, and so at some point, someone could stay with you for 20 years, or 30 years, or whatever. It will happen. You will all of a sudden hold a time in a relationship where they entrepreneurially want to see they like it, they realize, I can do this, we can focus successfully, if I can. You distract your eyes by the time you're 30 years.
Yeah, baby. That's the goal.
I was going to say my Joe Russell. That's the key is you never stop doing the one thing. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am. So when you look out at the other realtors and when you see them out there, what are the mistakes people make? Just in your opinion, you look out and you scratch your head and you go,
I'm not picking on anybody, but I know you have an opinion on it. You see that. What you see?
I think a lot of people think that they know everything. A lot of people think that a lot of people that got up here that did big numbers, and they do a lot of things really, really well, and there's some things that seem sometimes like they're not all that great. And I know firsthand that's the case with me, you know, and so I feel like maybe for some people, they're kind of hard-headed, don't want to seek advice or learn from other people, maybe sometimes because they're doing big numbers, they assume everything they're doing is right. It's kind of one thing I've noticed.
All right.
Fear of chaos thing, people look at that as I think a lot of people think that you're letting your clients down, you're not really true to, you're not providing the best service, or you're not doing the right thing by ignoring them for 4 hours in the morning. It's not that you're ignoring them, but I think a lot of people have a negative, they read that and they think, or maybe they don't even read it, they just don't want to live what you're saying to live because the fear of chaos, it seems like it's a negative thing that you're doing to other people. And I think that it could be maybe until you can get it together, but like you said, you just got to hire the chaos manager. And then people just don't need it. I mean, that's the bottom line. They don't get commitment to regular. There's not a commitment to it. The people lead generate, and they do different things. There's not, or there's not a commitment to picking one thing. Because I was talking to the team there. One person was like, man, the social media, this and that and the other, and they're getting each person chime in with, we can do this, and we can do that. And I'm like, man, that's not even part of our business plan. Where's that fit in? And so I think that another thing is we hear all these amazing ideas, and we know just about every single one of them works. But trying to do them all, you only have so much time. So I think a lot of people also trying to take on maybe too much. At the end of the day, it's a mystery for me. I got into business like you at 21, probably at 22, I don't know. And the thing that I didn't understand is when you were listening, I see what you do. I still don't. I've never understood it. I don't understand it. I'm like, you're going to work 8 hours, why don't you pay for it? I don't understand why. I don't understand. So I have no clue. I can't rationalize it. I can't explain it away. And my personal one is the people around me are tolerant. That's a standard that I'm willing to tolerate.
And sometimes people on the receiving end. I was talking about this the other night. I said, how did Gary Keller fly from Austin, Texas to Boulder, Colorado? I can put together that you were there to make it. You were there to do it. And I did that piece, and I'm going, I'm flying.
Yeah, you were.
But I'm just saying, sometimes we don't get that. I mean, you have to do that.
Well, my goal, Coach, was I was